Hi, I'm an architecture student, and I found this story online a couple of days ago. I'm currently a high school senior. I have been dreaming of becoming an architect for several years now. Now, that is almost time to decide what I want to major in. Everybody is telling me not to do art or architecture. They say I will never find a job and that even if I do, I won't make enough money to support a family. I'm also told that architecture sucks and all architecture students are exhausted and burned out and miserable after a year, and that I'll never have time for a social life. Now, is any of this true? Please tell me your experiences. So, this story motivated me to do today's live stream so you can ask me all about architecture school. Are you ready? Hi there, my name is Irving, and this is your channel, The Lazy Arquitecto, where every Saturday we show up here with a new live stream, sharing some tips and tricks, some AutoCAD dynamic blocks, custom tools, basically anything that we can create and share to save time working in AutoCAD. But today we come with a different live stream, which is about the architecture students. Why? Well, because most of you guys asked me questions about how um, is the life of an architecture student, if it's hard, and so on. So I know many of you guys will be interested in this subject. That's why I picked the subject for this live stream for today. So before we start today's live stream, I always like to say hi to you, read some of your comments, some of your questions, um, and so on. So we have 3 or 4 people connected so far. That's great that you guys are still here with me today. As always, each Saturday, showing up here on YouTube as well as Facebook. So let me know where are you guys connecting from. I'm very interested because I know I have people connected from all over the world. So that's awesome. So let me know where are you guys connecting from now. Let me go and we have 4 people on this live stream. That's awesome. I'm very happy for that, that you show up here with me today. So as always, I'm gonna answer any of your questions that you might have related this topic, which is being an architecture student. So we have Mary on the chat. Mary, thank you for being here today. Uh, I know you're a fan of the Lazy Arquitecto because you um, show up here each Saturday. That's awesome. I'm very happy for that, Mary. So thank you for being here today also. You might have some architecture student questions. So just let me know on the chat your question if you have any questions regarding this today's topic, being an architecture student. I mean, it's I'm also gonna share my experience. Um, we have Mary on the chat again. She says you're great. Thank you, Mary. We have William on the chat also from says good morning from San Diego. Oh, that's great, William. Right now I am on Pennsylvania. So yeah, San Diego, that's awesome. So let me know, guys, where are you connecting from? That's interesting to know. We have 5 people connected. That's great. Um, so again, today's live stream is going to be all about being an architecture student. And another reason why I picked this topic is, of course, because I am currently an architecture student, so I might be able to share some of my experience with you guys. So currently, um, I'm on my last semester to graduate as an architecture student, and I think it's a good time to share my experience with you guys, right? You might have different questions, like the one that you're seeing on your screen, related this person that have some questions about being an architecture student. Um, so um, I'm gonna jump to this question that I found online again. But as always, you can interrupt me with your questions and I'll be able to jump and show it on the screen. All right. So, first of all, I want to start by sharing a little bit of my background, right? Why I feel that I have the experience to share with you about this subject, because again, I'm a fifth year architecture student right now in Pennsylvania, and let me show you some images so I can share with you a little bit of myself. So, oops, let me see 1 second. Uh, so how do I do this? All right, let me try. Oops. All right, so I'm gonna do my best to share these small clips about being an architecture student. Again, it's kind of the first time I'm sharing this material, so stay with me. So this first one is my actual university right now in Pennsylvania. So let me share that small. So as you can see, it's a small clip, but that's myself on going to the architecture building or department at my current university. Again, I'm a fifth year architecture student, so hopefully by December I will be graduating. So, yep, that's a small clip I wanted to share with you guys before today's live stream. Um, we have another person in the chat, says Hard King. Hello, please suggest some oil-based 3D softwares for time saving. So of course, King, related to architecture, some of the most common 3D softwares that we use, you know, everybody start with SketchUp, which is a Google SketchUp program, the basic, very basic 3D software to create houses and basically anything. But then you jump to a more complex or advanced program, which is called Rhino. That's a more advanced 3D program, similar to SketchUp, but with more features. And then, of course, we continue to develop our programming skills and we jump to something like Revit and so on. So, yeah, so those three are most of the common 3D softwares that we use in architectural school. King. Um, Mary Miriam said students say that they are not drawing in university. They just listen to courses. Is that true? They're not drawing in university. Well, based on my experience, Miriam, here in the US, again, in a university that it is in Pennsylvania, so we do a lot of drawing. So I don't believe that's true. Um, yeah, we do a lot of drawings. We need to draw wall sections, floor plans, elevations, building sections, and so on. So yeah, we do plenty of drawings, Mary. Um, yeah, so uh, let me know, guys, where are you connecting from, or also post your questions regarding being an architecture student. So let me share with you another small clip, sharing again some of my experience being an architecture student. Oh, before that, Mary has another question. Mary says, by hand. Oh, yeah, Mary. So now I understand your question better. That depends, Mary. Sometimes, yes, especially when you are starting in architectural school, they push you to, yeah, draw by hand, yes. But then once you keep progressing on the second, third year, then it's kind of optional. Whatever you feel is more efficient for you to get your project done, then that's why you go for, right? If you're really good at sketching or drawing by hand, yeah, no, yes, of course you can do your floor plans by hand. There's no problem with that. You have the option to pick, right, whether you do it digitally or by hand. That's my experience, Mary. Thank you for your question. So yeah, leave your questions regarding being an architecture student on the chat, and I will be happy to answer. So let me share another clip, which is some pictures of my university, again in Pennsylvania. That's me, of course. Um, so I hope you can hear me while I place these short clips. Uh, but that's one of my visits to another big university here. I think that was on New Jersey. Um, but yeah, I mean, being an architecture student is tough. So you just have to keep pushing and pushing. And luckily for me, I'm in my last semester. Hopefully, by December of this year, I will be graduating. Um, so that image is, everything. Nobody is there, but I was kind of one of the first one to arrive. Um, so yeah, you need to work hard if you want to be into this architecture school. That image doing the previous image with my kids was when I was doing a online class because it was kind of hybrid for the COVID and all of that situation. Um, so yeah. All right. So we have another comment on the chat. Mary is asking. So they do not teach AutoCAD? Um, Mary, they do teach AutoCAD, yes. So especially on the beginning, like on the first semester, yeah. So they teach you all of the basic programs that you will need. Um, they do AutoCAD, they do Rhino. I don't think they tell me SketchUp, but I learned that software by myself. But yeah, they will teach you Revit also. So yeah, Mary. So the answer is yes. Mary has another question. Wish you the best. You are very good in AutoCAD. Mary, thank you for your wishes. Yeah, this channel is all about AutoCAD, right? Sharing different ways to save time, be more productive, more efficient. But again, I know uh, some of your questions also were relating to architecture school, being a student, and so on. So that's why I decided to do today's live stream so I can share some of my experience before I leave the architecture school, right? So yeah, leave your questions on the chat about today's topic being in architecture school. So let me share another small clip about my experience being in an architecture student, right? So the next clip I want to share is so hope you can still hear me. This is my university here in Pennsylvania. It's very open and very so we have another question on the chat. Mary says, never went to university. I'm a drafter. I mean, Mary, yeah, you can get a job as a drafter, and then scale your way up, become a designer or so, or something similar. Yeah, I mean, you can do it definitely without going to a university. However, if you ever want to uh, be licensed, a licensed architect, or put your own firm, then definitely you will need to have at least a bachelor's degree, right? A bachelor's in architecture, and then of course take your exams in order to get a license as an architect, right? So you can manage your own company, your own firm. So yeah, Mary. So yeah, nice to know that you are a drafter without going to the university. Mary Miriam says 70 years old. Do you mean, what do you mean by 70 years old, Mary? Um, Hart King is asking, can you help me for making a useful script? Sure, Harking. I'm all about helping with that. But what I would suggest you is I give these 30-minute Zoom consultations. So if you are interested in that, I can quickly help you go over your script and in 30 minutes get that done. So yeah, if you're interested, let me know. But today it's all about being an architecture student, right? So ask me anything related to that. Put it on the chat, and I'll be happy um, to answer. All right. So let me share another small clip about architecture student, which is this. As you can see, guys, being an architecture student is not that bored. We also have fun every once in a while, like you can see right now on your screen. So yeah, so don't get discouraged. I know many people said that being an architecture student is tough, you don't have life, and so on, like the story that is on your screen right now, the story that I found online, that says that architecture students are exhausted and burned out and miserable and so on. You can see right now in the video that I was having a little bit of fun with my class. So it's not that. We have another comment on the chat. Miriam says, I will be 70 years old in October. Oh, wow, Mary. Yeah, I mean, thank you for sharing some of your personal things, right? With us, with everybody. That you are 70 years old. That's awesome. And Mary says, too late. I mean, have you ever heard that saying? It's never too late, Mary, to start something. I believe on that. Let's say Hard King. Hard King is asking, I always need AutoCAD auto measurements for separately of horizontal and vertical elements, which automatically placed. Harkin, so if you leave that question on after we finish today's live stream, I will be happy to help you with that because today it's all about being an architecture student, right? Answering your questions, sharing a little bit of my experience since I'm an architecture student right now about to graduate. So yeah, so I will be happy to help you with that AutoCAD subject. If you place this comment under today's live stream, so I can help you later, Harking. All right, so let's keep posting your questions, guy. What do you want to know about being an architecture student and so on? So let me see if I have another clip to share with you. Uh, so, can you hear me? Hopefully, you can hear me. Yeah. So again, this is my university in Pennsylvania, where I'm about to graduate as an architecture student. This is a visit that we did to another university in New Jersey. Um, But yeah, so I think I'm gonna jump to answer this question that I found. That is very interesting. That is gonna help many people to clarify some of these ideas and sayings about being an architecture student, right? Based again on my experience. Um, so let me go and answer uh, this question on your screen or this story. And also, if you have questions, just post it in the chat and I will be happy to answer them. So, again, let me go and read again this story. I'm currently a high school senior. I have been dreaming of becoming an architect for several years. Now that it's almost time to decide what I want to major in. Everybody's telling me to not do art school. They say I will never find a job and that even if I do, I won't make enough to support my family. So let me stop here and answer that specific part. So, based on my experience, again, I would say that this is false. Why? Because there are jobs for architects or architecture students. Like in my experience, I even got into an architecture job before I graduated. So let me tell you a little bit of my story or my background. So I went to community college in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, to get an associate's degree, right, in architecture, which for people who don't know about it is basically a 2 years program, and you will get a certificate, right? They call it associates. So I went and I did that, and in the middle of that 2 year program, I start researching for a job, and I did a first try, I didn't get a job. Second try in a different position, I didn't get the job. The third time, I finally got a job, and I didn't even finish my associate's degree in architecture. So I got a job into this architecture office doing architecture work and projects, right? So, and now I'm in my bachelor's degree in another university, and I have already 5 or 6 years of experience working in a firm or in an architecture company. So that kind of tell me that this is false, right? That you will never find a job. Also, because I know my classmates or other friends, they are also already working. So that's again this statement is false, the statement that you are seeing on your screen, and it's saying that even if I find I won't make enough to support a family. I would say that that's also false. Whoever wrote this comment online, I don't have the name of this person, but yeah, that's also false because, of course, depending on your experience, right? If you are starting as a student and you don't have enough experience, of course, you're not going to make enough money, right? Working like any other field, right? But once you start getting more experience and getting better on what you do, of course, you're gonna have a better salary and so on, and definitely you're gonna be able to support your family. So that's again also false. Um, so before we continue, um, kind of answering to this story or comment on your screen about architecture students. Uh, and we have another comment on the chat. Um, is Mary? Mary says, you should be teaching. You have great abilities in explaining. I learned a lot from your videos. Thank you, Mary. And I'm actually teaching, guys. I don't know if you know this, but it's because maybe I don't talk about it that much. But I do have one-on-one AutoCAD lessons. So I have that service if you are interested. So yeah, so just write me an email or let me know in the comments of any of my videos here on YouTube or on Facebook. And if you're interested on one-on-one AutoCAD lessons, so let me know. Thank you, Mary, for asking. So let's keep digesting this story on your screen or comment about being an architecture student. And of course, if you have questions, leave it on the chat that I will be answering them. Um, so let's keep uh, answering this question or story. I won't make enough to support a family. I'm also told that architecture sucks and all architecture students are exhausted and burnout and miserable after a year. Wow, that's a very strong statement right there. But it's not funny actually because part of this is true. Let me tell you a little bit of my story regarding this part or this subject of this story. And I mean, it's tough being an architecture student. Like, especially those first years, those first and second year, where you kind of are still finding your system, right? Because when you're in an architecture school, if you don't find a system to do things, to tackle projects or do homeworks, you're gonna really suffer. And there are many people that quit architecture schools. I saw it and experienced myself. Some of my classmates leaving, I don't see them the next semesters and so on. So for me, in my personal experience, this is kind of has part of this statement is true in the way that in my case, for instance, I remember this semester where I really struggle and suffer, and to the point that I had to go to the hospital. It's not fun, but yeah, I had to go to the hospital. Let me explain you why. This semester, I remember I was taking some 5 classes, right? I was a full-time architecture student. I remember I was taking structure class, of course, design, architecture design class, um, I think history, and also I forgot the other one, but the other one was math, calculus. So I remember at that time, since I have two kids right now, but at that time I had only one kid. But still, going to architecture school with kids, it's even even harder. So I remember, in order to do my homework, my calculus or math homework, I needed a private space, right, to concentrate and do my exercises. So I found this small closet, um, because at that time I was living in a one room apartment. So I found this closet over there, small closet, and I put my computer in there and all of my school um, school things. And I did that for the whole semester. Look at the screen for many hours, doing my projects, my homework. And then when I finished that, I went to work and keep looking at the screen, because again I was working in an architecture firm by that time. And then I reached a point where my eyes were suffering a lot, and I had some pain and everything on my eyes. I had to go to the doctor and get some help with that. So, and I still till today, I suffer a little bit with my eyes every once in a while, because I was looking at the screen for so many hours doing my architecture school projects, and then going to work and keep looking at the computer also for so many hours. So that's kind of a story that I never told, but now you know. And this part of the statement is kind of true again. It's tough to be an architecture student. But again, there is the other side also, where you can also have fun. I mean, you saw that video that I just showed you, where I was having fun doing my projects and on the screen. So, you need to find that balance of, um, doing your projects and homeworks, but also at the same time, have some fun also, like you are seeing it right now on my screen. Um, so yeah, it's tough. It's hard, I know, but in the end, it's worth it. If that's what you like, what you love, architecture, then go for it. So let's keep finishing or wrapping up this story on your screen. Um, so before that, we have a question on the chat, and is Thomas. Thomas is asking, good idea to work first before architecture, then you know what you're getting into. That's right, Thomas. However, it's a little tough. It's hard to find a job while you are still in school. Why? Because many of these architecture office, they require you to have experience. That's my personal experience, right, with this looking to an architecture job while being at school. They always said like something like, hey, sorry, but we're looking for a person with at least 2 3 years of experience, of working experience. And of course, as an architecture student, you don't have that experience yet. So it's a little hard, but of course you can do it if you keep trying and trying, like I did. So don't give up, and you can get into a job while you are in your first or second year of school. So thank you, Thomas, for your question. Um, so keep posting your questions on the chat, guys, um, related to being an architecture student. Again, I'm here because I believe I have some experience to share about this subject, since I'm a current architecture student and I'm about to graduate this year. So, yeah. Um, Thomas is asking also another question. It says, yes, you just and dying to do your assignments and have no doubt, just do it. um Yeah, I mean, the assignments are, I mean, it's hard. Like, some people believe that architecture school is just about drawings and designing, but no, it's a more complex a career or major. You need to know a little bit of this. You also need math. You also, of course, you don't need advanced math as an engineering, but you also need those classes. So structure, math, physics, and so on. So yeah, keep asking your questions on the comments, guy, about being an architecture student. We have Kent Munif on the chat. Tienes tutoriales de Revit. He's asking in Spanish. If you guys don't know, I speak Spanish. I'm from Peru in South America. So, but I'm living right now in the US. He's asking if I have Revit tutorials on the channel. And at this point, the answer is no, Ken, because I try to focus on AutoCAD. But maybe in the future, who knows? So stay tuned for that. Kent. Thomas is saying thank you. Yeah, thank you, Thomas, for being here with us today live. So again, for people who are new, we do these live streams each Saturday. The time, the time depends, of course, where I'm available, but have your bell notification on so you can get notified that whenever I do a live stream. And again, this channel is all about saving time in AutoCAD, right? But today, I kind of changed the subject a little bit about architecture students because I know many of you guys are architecture students, or want to be one architecture student. So that's why I'm talking about this subject today. So again, if you have questions about this subject, post it on the chat. I'm gonna finish this story on your screen. Um, so, and then this person says, I'm also okay, burnout, miserable. I already answered that. And that I'll never have time for a social life. Now, is any of this true? Please tell me your experiences. I mean, for a social life, it's kind of part of this statement is true, as most of the time, especially when you are on your ending your semester, on your finals, definitely you need to sacrifice Saturdays, Sundays, trying to push your projects farther, right? Work on your projects, wrapping them up in order to do your final presentation. So part of this statement again is true, but if you create a system to tackle your homework, your projects on time, then you will be able to still have some of this social life. So again, of course, on your finals, you're gonna have to sacrifice some of your Saturdays and Sundays. But again, if you have a good time management and have a system to do your homeworks and projects, you can still have a social life. So again, part of this statement is true and false. So again, I already explained why. All right. So I hope this live stream was helpful to you guys, knowing a little bit more about the architecture school. Again, I already shared some of architecture. I already shared some of my experience being an architecture student. Again, for people who just arrived, I was sharing some of these small clips related to architecture school. That's me over there. I'm kind of sharing a little bit of the architecture department where I am. So yeah, guys, hopefully this was beneficial. Let's read some wrap up comments, see if you have any more questions before we end today's live stream. Um, so, so we have 4 people connected still. That's awesome that you guys are here with me. Um, so let me know if this was helpful or not. Um, so I'm planning to do uh, maybe another of these Ask Me Anything live streams, but maybe regarding working in an architectural firm, right? If you are interested on that, let me know in the comments and I can schedule one of these live streams. Or if you have any other suggestions for next topics or live streams, let me know also. Um, so Briar is on the chat. Briar says, I'm on my 3rd year of college and I am planning on changing major to architecture. Briar, why? I mean, but what is your major right now? I mean, I know you're planning to change, but right now, what is your current major? I mean, this is very common, Briar. Actually, in my case, I went first for trying to go to engineering school or major at community college. And, I had this idea that I wanted to be an engineer. So I thought, well, why not start taking all of my math classes, right? So I started taking math, this and the other math class. But then somehow I took a design class. And after that, here I am in architecture school, working in an architecture firm, and so on. So it's common that students change majors. So don't be afraid of that, Briar. Um, we have another comment on the chat. We have 6 people connected. That's great. Um, Ken is saying, gracias, tus videos me ayudan aprendiendo inglés y AutoCAD. Oh, wow, Ken. And let me translate it a little bit for you guys. Ken is saying, thank you for your videos or tutorials. They are helping me to learn English as well as AutoCAD. I mean, yeah, I mean, some people requested for me to do AutoCAD videos in Spanish, and maybe I'm gonna do it in the future, right? But right now, I'm doing it in English, and Ken is saying that he's learning AutoCAD, but at the same time, he's learning English. Awesome, Ken. Um, Briar says, I'm confused on what to do. Briar, yeah, you're in a tough situation, Briar, because my suggestion would be, oh, you have another comment on the chat explaining more about your situation. So let me share that so you guys can have a little bit more context regarding this situation. He says, Briar says, I started with nursing, then changed it to horticulture because it had a landscape design class and taught I was taught AutoCAD and I enjoy it and I wanted it to be a landscape architect. Um I mean, Briar, what I will suggest is do or change your major only if you feel that you really like or love what you're gonna do or work on, right? Because I have a friend that I remember that he changed his major to odontology or to be a dentist, right? And the only reason why he changed it was because he thought on making more money. He realized that Once he graduated, of course, and find a job, he's gonna make way more money as an odontology or dentist. And but guess what? After he changed his major in 1 or 2 years, he quit because he realized that he didn't like to be a dentist, you know, cleaning teeth and all of those things. So in the end, he doesn't have anything right now. He doesn't have a certificate or something. So just change your major if you really like or love the new major that you're gonna get into. So that would be my personal recommendation, Briar. Um, so we have another chat says, Briar says, but then I would also like to work at a career where I work with floor plans. So I thought of architecture because they design houses. Um, Briar, again, I think I already kind of answered your question. Um, Now, one point that I want to emphasize about this comment that might be helpful for you guys that are here today with me, 7 people, that's awesome, is about the thing that you say architecture is about designing houses. Um, I mean, that's true, but some people have this idea that architecture is about designing, but in reality, designing is only 10 to 20%, and then 80% is more about managing projects, construction administration, permits, submissions, paperwork, and all of that. Because once we design something, right, we need to do construction documents. And what are construction documents? Well, there are a way to create these drawings, floor plans, elevation sections of the house, so we can submit to the city and do all of this permitting part, um, answering questions and so on. So just the design part is very, very short, 10 to 20%, but that's an idea that people don't know. So just be careful with that, Brian. I would suggest you is to research more about working in an architecture firm and then make your decision. All right, so guys, it was fun today's live stream because I had this interaction with you guys more, and that's what I like. I don't like to just be here doing a tutorial and then just me talking all the time without you guys asking questions or saying your story. So that's awesome. So let me know if you guys like today um, live stream by hitting the like icon on your screen, and I will be able to maybe do another of these live stream. Now with being an architecture student, by maybe working in an architecture firm, right? Sharing some of that experience, answering your questions, and so on. So yeah, let me know. Um, so again, as always, thank you for being here today. As always, this live stream came thanks to my supporters, people who believe in my work, either as a Patreon or YouTube member. For those people, you have this other video on your screen. So I'll see you over there.